Uh, Hey, bud. How's it going?
It's going all right. How about you?
I've just been working
Hold
hella
on.
hours.
Oh, nice.
Did you just open some whiskey?
I did.
Nice. Yeah, no, things are good. I just been working fucking hella overtime and working on my newest book.
Oh,
Can I get your input?
sure.
I want to make a little bit more of like a dramatic feeling for my book. Would killing off one of the main characters be like a good way to make it a little bit more serious and a little bit I don't know, like add some shock value?
I mean, as long as you write that character really good, I mean, yeah, I'd say if you make it pay off.
Cool, cool, cool.
Okay.
Buddy,
Yes.
you know what my favorite thing about pumpkin pie is?
What? What is your favorite thing about pumpkin pie?
You don't need to refrigerate it.
That's maybe that's true. I guess.
Yeah. My brother left this.
There are other pies though that you don't have to refrigerate.
Brandon, I'm pretty sure you would die if you had an unrefrigerated pie.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they spoil faster than other pies.
Yeah, but you pick it off the shelf, it's room temperature.
Oh, yeah. Guess I forgot about that.
So your attempt at being a dumbass just made you even more of a dumbass.
Oh, I heard a doggy, and that sounded
That
like Gwen.
that is Quinn. She's barking at Jasmine, and now she's coming over here because I said her name.
Oh, shit. Jasmine or
Lucky.
the dog?
The dog.
Good morning, boys and girls. Sometimes you need to wake up bright and early, have yourself a cup of coffee, talk about some nerdy shit, and then go on with your day. It's time for Sunrise with the Sleepy Boys, with your hosts, Brandon and Mark. Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy. Have I ever told you that's one of my bosses over at Illuminidal's like favorite thing to say?
What?
Oh, Billy.
Oh.
It's just constant. It's just constantly.
Yeah, the fucked up thing about the "Oh Billy" thing is, first of all, I learned it from
Cable guy.
Cable Guy, and I was in middle school, and we did it to make fun of one of our assistant principals.
What? You did that to make fun of an assistant principal?
So yeah, so when I was in middle school, we had this fucking asshole assistant principal. You know, like, you remember our APs from Friendswood High?
Oh yeah, I fucking do.
It was like that, but middle school level. So like, you already had less freedom than you do in high school, right?
Sure.
So we had this guy. First and foremost, look, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this name, but it was just like the douchebag guy that he was had the first name had this first name, so the association. His name was Klaus.
Okay.
First name was Klaus, last name was Oglesby. And the thing,
Oh, so Goolsby.
no. See, but that's the thing is I'm like 98% sure. Oh man, I said his name on here. I'm gonna have to bleep that shit out.
No, it's fine. He won't ever hear this, or he's dead.
He's not dead. He was like in his mid 30s.
Yeah,
But
he could have caught the COVID.
you're probably right. He lives in Texas, so
Yeah, he probably caught the COVID and died.
looking back on it, I'm like 99% sure that he is a pedophile.
You're not allowed to cut this out of the episode. I want this in.
So if I'm wrong and I called out my old assistant principal whose name I dropped and he doesn't turn out to be a pedophile, but his life is ruined because we said something on this podcast, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right, cool. So but no, so what we did one time, so I had a friend whose name was His name was William. He went by William. Everyone called him William. But
William.
one day he got sent to Oglesby's office, and apparently he was having some shit going at home in his home life. He didn't want to talk about it with anybody.
William or Oglesby?
William.
Okay.
And William was sitting in Oglesby's office, and he's like, Billy, you can tell me anything. Like, this is a safe place. There's no judgment in here. There's none of that kind of shit. And he reaches.
This is not the voice I imagined for a Klaus.
I don't remember. This was like 18 years ago, dude. I don't remember shit that long ago. Holy shit, that was like 18 years ago.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's no big deal. I mean,
it's fair. You're right. If he'd be arrested by now anyway. Fuck,
exactly.
That was like, oh my God, that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Man, dude, my head hurts.
Mark, how do you think I feel? I mean, what are you going to say?
You're not that much older than me.
No, I'm not. But, I mean, our 10th anniversary, anniversary reunion, whatever, 10-year reunion thing just came and went.
Fuck.
And, I had some friends who asked me if I was going to go. And I was like, I legitimately told him, I was like, no, anybody that I still talk to is the only people I want to like associate with. Everyone else can fuck off and die for all I care.
For real. Like the last.
I stick by that. I don't. You leave this. The only person from
my class, the only person from my class I still keep in touch with is fucking Jesse.
Yeah, and even that's kind of questionable. I mean,
it's kind of.
I had to unfollow him.
Some of the shit that he is.
All of his shit is just dumb army, like dumb memes that only army people get. And I get it. Memes are supposed to be like perfect for your like group. And I understand that. I'm not upset that I don't get them. I'm just realizing that there's a lot of dumb fucking people in the army.
Oh, my favorite thing is it's even worse for the Marines though.
How would you know it's worse for the Marines?
Because I used to be stationed next to a Marine facility.
Fair enough.
So the thing is like everyone. The joke about the Marines is they're all stupid. What?
Oh, yeah, you have to be a little stupid or crazy or both to go into the Marines.
Yeah, so the jokes was the Marines were the dumbasses. The Army was the they wanted to be military, but like they're not that much smarter. You got the Navy, who all of them, it's basically a giant gay orgy on the ships.
Oh, sign me up, sailor.
The Air Force is like, they drink Starbucks and they don't really do any real hard work. It's all desk work.
Oh, cool. So they're a high school girl that ended up becoming a secretary.
Basically. And the then of course the Coast Guard is just a bunch of fucking lifeguards. Which, to be fair, it's nice to know that I've saved more lives per capita than the average person. Okay, so you know me. I like mythology and fairy tales and shit, right?
Yeah, this is becoming a very common topic with you.
Is it?
Yes. But it's okay.
Really?
Yes, it is. It is very much becoming a common topic.
I remember we talked about like Olympus, but what else have we talked about?
A couple other things.
You know of Jack from fairy tales, right?
Like Jack Frost
and Jack Be Nimble and Jack the Giant Slayer.
Oh, sure.
All of the Jacks. So
yeah,
apparently, according to the origins of like this folklore, Jack, the different Jacks from all the different stories, is the same guy.
So Jack is essentially like the Mickey Mouse of fairy tales.
Basically, so like yeah, like I said, there's like Jack Be Nimble, the one that climbed the beanstalk. There was Jack and Jill. Like they're all the same Jack, which means
So Jack is the most interesting man in the world.
essentially, yeah. And but the thing is when you factor in the thing about Jack Frost,
Uh-huh.
uh, Jack Frost is immortal.
Sure.
Oh, but the thing is like in the stories, like he started off. If the chronological order that I'm thinking of is accurate, Jack B. Nimble would have been the first part of it because he was like a child, right?
Yeah.
Then he killed a giant when he was in his youth because his mom was a broke bitch.
Yeah, sure.
At some point in the story, there's a version of Jack called Stingy Jack. Basically, uh, he's cheated the devil so many times that now he's not allowed to get into heaven or hell.
Oh, isn't that like the story of like that's a traditional Halloween story, isn't it?
I think so.
Like that's where like the whole idea of the jack-o'-lanterns come from?
No, that's a different story, but that still follows the same ongoing
Okay. All right. So I'm
story.
not too far off basis.
It's the same guy. Then you got Jack and Jill because he now has a wife who fell down and broke her skull open. Oh, he
I
broke
thought
his
that
skull
was
open.
I thought that was his sister.
Specifies it just says Jack and Jill. Um,
All
but it
right.
could very well be sister, but I think
I'll
it's because if
I'll
you think
allow it, but
about
I'm
it,
pretty sure.
Jack fell down and broke his crown. In my youth, I thought that like he just had a paper crown that he wore around. Really, he broke his skull open, which means he would have died,
Yeah.
right?
His brains were splattered down the whole side of that hill.
Yeah. What's green and red all over the side of that hill after Jack's fucking head blew up?
Yeah.
Um, then the next story, according to the chronological order, is the story of Jack O'Lantern, who is basically the headless horseman story. Is just a guy that got his head cut off because he was a bad bitch. And then the final one is final part is Jack Frost. So I think what it is just it's telling the story of this child who had such an intense and interesting life that when he died, he was just made immortal because of how fucking amazing he is.
Well, especially if you can't go to heaven or hell.
I mean, he's basically the Lobo of fairy tales.
All right.
You
Heard it
know,
here first.
it's a hot take on the topic, guys. Lobo is Jack from the Jack and Jill, Jack Frost, Jack Be Nimble, you name it. Jack's been there.
Jack Mayhofer.
Yeah, Jack Mayhoff is the same guy. Oh my god.
All right.
So I got another fairy tale topic.
Oh, do
kind
you?
Of.
All right.
Another
well,
not. I guess cryptid would be a good term.
oh, I'm all about cryptids.
Kind of. Again, kind of. So
I love cryptids and tulpas. They're always interesting.
Of the Tooth Fairy.
I mean, by story of the Tooth Fairy, you mean the whole thing that you grow up hearing about, putting your tooth under your pillow and stuff? That Tooth Fairy?
Right. Right.
Yes, I've heard a thing or two about it.
You know how bones are just an extension of, or I'm sorry, your teeth are just an extension of your skeleton, right?
Hold on, if you're gonna say bones, you gotta say it like this: bones.
So you know how your teeth are just smaller segments of your skeleton, right?
Sure.
So they're basically just little bitty bones. I like to think the Tooth Fairies are just a smaller version of a much larger and aggressive version called the Bone Fairies.
Yeah.
Not like in the fun way where they fly up and fuck you in the butthole and then leave. Like the kind of just
what
bone fairy.
What kind of oh god.
There you go. The first and only horse crosses the finish line. Like, okay, but imagine
you leave my one horse alone.
But no, but think about this really. You know how kids, maybe this was just me as a child. I don't know if you did this too. When I was a kid, I found out that if you put your tooth under your pillow at night, you get a quarter or a dollar or whatever.
I hit the
boy,
jackpot one year.
What?
So I was staying at a friend's house during a hurricane, so my parents were also with us, and we were riding it out. Well, I lost a tooth during this trip while we were staying with friends.
Right.
So I put the tooth under my pillow. Well, my parents put money underneath my pillow, but then also the people that I was staying with also put money underneath my pillow.
Look at you, little cheating the system ass little cheater.
And then I found out how cheap my parents were.
Well, what did your parents leave you?
$1.
How much did your friends leave you?
$5.
$2.
So I woke up and I had 6. Big fat 6-1.
Big old stack of 6. So
huge stack.
Here's what kind of child I was. I was very much money motivated at a very early age, which is really weird. What was the cooing?
This whiskey is oaky.
Tangy. Okay.
No, I mean, it's got some oak tannins. Oh, that's good. Drinking some good old Treaty Oak Ghost Hill, Texas bourbon. 125 proof.
But so I was a fucked up child, as I'm sure you can imagine.
You're a fucked up adult.
Exactly. When I found out that you could get money, tooth fairy coming and taking your teeth away, leaving you some money under your pillow, that's my shit. I was like, you're telling me every time I put a tooth under my pillow, don't get ahead of me on this.
It's too late.
Money? Put my tooth under the pillow? Keep in mind, I did have a little bit more of a dumbass Utah accent, but so
I'm just imagining you just sitting there with a fucking thing of pliers, just ripping teeth out of your fucking skull. Mom, look, I lost all my teeth. Tooth fairy gonna bring me some money.
Was that fucking baby Arnold Schwarzenegger?
It's because you got blood that's also coming. It's because you also have blood that's just pouring out of your mouth.
Mommy, I want the tooth fairy. No, so yeah, basically when I was
also to suggest that you sounded like that as a child is not far off.
I think I was in the first grade when I lost my first tooth, and I actually didn't know that it was supposed to happen because wow, I wonder why. I got so when my tooth came out, I tried to hide it.
You were in what grade when you started losing teeth? First grade.
Yeah. Why?
I'm just gonna say your body was holding on to those teeth.
And I started school at the age of 5.
Not first grade.
I did. I skipped kindergarten and preschool. Bitch,
you're full of shit.
Bitch, you really want to play this game with me? I've told you this story before.
Yeah, I do.
Brandon.
I don't remember hearing it, which makes me think it's a lie.
So when I was the one thing I will say my parents did a fucking great job of was my like preschool like level learning type shit, right? I learned to read by the time I was 3 years old. I was doing simple mathematics by the time I was 6. So my parents I was going to preschool every day.
Most people are doing simple mathematics by 6.
I was doing multiplication.
No, you weren't.
Oh, I was doing multiplication by age 6. Maybe
the
7.
only multiplying you were doing was in body mass.
I was a little bitty scrawny fuck, okay? Now let me tell my story.
Okay.
Regardless, my parents, after paying for me to go to preschool for the first half of, I think it just turned 6.
I thought you said you skipped it.
Not like preschool. I'm sorry. They called it preschool. It was just daycare kind of shit.
That's preschool.
Oh. I mean, I went for
just daycare.
Exactly. So my parents were like, "Are you actually learning anything at daycare?" And I was like, "Not really." So they're like, "Okay." So they took me and they took me to the elementary school. It was like November, and they were like, we want to start him in first grade. That we wanted to start him in kindergarten. So I would have been in preschool. They had me just skip. We're gonna have me skip to kindergarten, and they're like, I don't think it's such a good idea to have him start this. We're halfway through the school year. He would be the youngest in his class. This, that, and the other. My parents were like, just let him try. Let him try to see how it is. And so they had me. They gave me like, I think it was a 2-day trial. Basically, Billy Madisoned me for a little bit. And
how old did you start first grade?
Huh?
How old did you say you started first grade?
I was 6.
Okay, well that's typical then, apparently.
Right, but I was starting halfway through the school year. So that was the issue here is when I would have started, I would have been, had I started like at the beginning of the school year, I still would have been 5, so I wouldn't have been able to. My parents tried to cheat the system. So basically what happened was,
shocking that your parents would try to cheat the system.
Fuck you, those are my parents you're talking about.
Yeah. I stand by my statement.
Yeah. But
your dad tried to get you to rope me into a pyramid scheme. I can say
we've
whatever
already
I
talked
want
about that.
I know, and look, man. There are just some emotional scars that you can't work past. Some things you just have to wear with a badge of honor.
You let me touch your penis. You heard it here, folks. That wasn't a no.
We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
So they had me do like 2 or 3 day testing period, and at the end of it, they had me sit down and take like
where the fuck is this story going?
You asked me. Did you ask me?
I asked you what?
Hold on.
We were talking about the Tooth Fairy, Mark.
Oh, you were giving me shit because of how late in my schooling I lost my tooth.
Yeah. I didn't ask you for a whole diatribe about your school history.
I mentioned that I was in 2nd grade when my teeth started falling out in mass, and you said
that's first grade.
Well, I said 2nd grade, and you said that's a little old, and I was like, wait, maybe I was in 1st grade, and you was like, that's still a little old. You were giving me shit about it. I got little baby dainty teeth. I can't do nothing about it. Anyway, started ripping out my teeth like a fucking crackhead, putting them under my pillow.
All right, so you do start losing teeth at 5 to 6.
That fucked up. You know what's fucked up is my teeth are the same size as they were before I lost my baby teeth. I'm not kidding. Like my bottom row of teeth, my sister was genuinely concerned about how small my bottom teeth are.
Hold on. Whilst I will agree with you that your teeth do appear to be a little small on the smaller side. That also just be because you're so much bigger than everybody. And I'm not talking about in size. I mean, you have a foot over most people.
No, I know that, but I've like, I went to the dentist a couple weeks ago for the first time in fucking who knows how long, and they were like, "You have very small teeth." And I was like, "I know."
Yes, a sore subject. Thanks for bringing it up. As you storm out of there.
Like, no shit, Sherlock. I could have told you that. Fuck. Can I just pay my bill and get out of here now?
What am I paying you for?
So yeah, I ripped out a bunch of my teeth.
Doctor just looks at it and goes, see, you showed up without your dentures today. That's very brave of you. And you're like, motherfucker.
It looks like you have to eat the little baby corns when you go to the Chinese restaurants, don't you?
No joke. I have this odd affinity for baby corn.
Baby corn's fucking delicious.
Which I found out is not actually baby corn.
What is it?
It's some genetically modified corn.
Well, let's be real. Every
under
corn that you're going to eat is...
Yeah, but this is like specifically like this. That corn is specifically grown to be like that. It has nothing to do with it just being like, oh yeah, we're just shitty farmers and we didn't know that, we just harvest our crop too soon. Also, I don't know why my guy's like from the Midwest or Canada.
That is where corn comes from, is the Midwest.
I mean, that's true. I did not realize how much, but did you notice that while we were in Illinois, that we did not hear anybody that talked like that?
That's fair. No, let's be
Not
real here.
one.
Nobody ever actually sounds the way they sound, or like where the stereotype is. Like
Nope, I'm sticking hard to it that Texas is spot on.
that's the thing though, is I never met all that many people that have the that Texas thing going on.
That's what you would call a southern drawl.
Southern drawl, that's when you get down to like Georgia and Mississippi.
You understand that that also carries over to here.
Cornbread and giblets.
Fuck you. Now I want cornbread and giblets.
Those are two things I can honestly say I've never had a craving for.
Have you ever had fried chicken gizzards before?
If it's fried and it's chicken, I'll probably eat it.
They're fucking good.
Anyways, when I was so like I said, when I was first found out that you could just put your teeth under the pillow, I shit you not, I ripped out 4 of my teeth and then stopped because I physically couldn't handle any more pain.
Like, fuck, what the fuck are you, Tasmanian devil?
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I sat down on the. I remember I sat down on the garage floor. Grabbed. My parents were not home, and I got a pair.
You're like
of,
the fucking child from Where the Wild Things Are, but if you got into meth.
Yeah. Oh, I'm writing that down. That's a book I gotta write now. The wild things are, but with meth. I wrote it down. It's happening now. Right. What? Okay. So yeah. So I was sitting on the floor of the garage. I remember I was cross-legged. Sitting Indian style, as they called it back then. And I had a pair of my dad's needle nose pliers, and I just pulled off a couple teeth. And I was so excited. To get money from the tooth fairy. I just ran in and put these 4 bloody teeth under my pillow. And mom and dad got home later that day. Mom, dad, guess what? I lost some more teeth. As I had this huge gap in my face that was still gushing blood. So what my thinking is if bone fairies were real, and
hold on, before you go and continue with this weird fairy thing, I would like to point out that I think I can pinpoint when your parents officially gave up on you as a child.
Was it the second time I pulled out a bunch of teeth?
You did it? No, you did not.
Oh, I didn't.
You did
no,
not.
That's pain I'll never want to relive. That was horrible. Like they come to Dad, look, I lost a bunch of teeth. Well, I guess we should try for another one.
Your dad just turns and looks at your mom and is like, can we still put him up for adoption?
Let's try again. Maybe we'll
I heard about this theory that you can abort a child at any point during life as long as they're not an adult. I really think we should look into that. What do you think?
I think that'd be the best thing. I think we should just. There's black widows in this house. So there could be a fire. Any number of things we could do to get rid of this child.
How about we put him into school a little bit earlier than we probably should have, and let's see if the other children I don't know. Let's eat him.
It's like a fish tank. The bigger fish always eat the smaller fish.
Yeah, and your dad's sitting there reading Lord of the Flies. And you're like, there's a lot of really good ideas in here.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'd be the kind of kid that's like, oh my gosh, I could get $5 for a femur. I only need one of these, really. I mean, let's be real. The road there was better than the ending.
The Bone Fairies are just repo men, but for body parts.
Oh God.
By the way, I recommend you go watch the movie Repo Men.
Wasn't that a musical?
There is a musical called Repo Men, the Genetic Opera. But there's another movie with Jude Law that's called Repo Man.
Okay. I didn't know those were 2 different things.
No, they are 2 different things. And one you will be very entertained by. The other one, when you watch it, you will go, I thought this was supposed to be a musical.
So, Brenda, we've talked about SpongeBob on this episode on this podcast before, right?
Several times.
Especially the one pertaining to pornography.
Yes.
So, specifically SpongeBob pornography, I should, because we talk about porn pretty much every episode. It's just inevitability.
And we're keeping it. We're keeping on brand.
Always.
Certainly talking about it again.
We're not this one's not actually about porn, surprisingly.
Oh.
So you remember the episode of SpongeBob, the bully, right? With Flats?
Yes.
So you know how Flats just kind of shows up and wants to kick SpongeBob's ass for apparently no reason.
I'm going to kick your butt.
I'm going to kick your butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a reason. And you have to like dig deep to kind of, or you have to like revisit a lot of stuff to understand what it was. Back in the first season of SpongeBob, they did an episode that was Sandy's Rocket.
Yes.
Where they think they're in space and they abduct basically everybody in Bikini Bottom.
Yeah.
Flats is one of the people they kidnapped.
That's right. He was.
So my theory, and that, like I said, that took place in season 1, and the bully episode took place in season 3. So Flats never forgot, and Flats never forgave, and now he's gonna, and now
kick your
fucking
butt.
26 years ago, he's gonna kick his butt.
Yep.
So for those of you fans out there listening, now you know. Read a book. Is that a dick thing to say to our fans?
Yeah, it is. That's as insulting as fucking Tobey Maguire at the end of the Spider-Man on the PlayStation 2 video game telling me to go outside after I beat the last boss.
Well, look at Mr. fucking Moneybags over here having Spider-Man 2 and beating
No,
it.
Spider-Man 1 on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, I had Spider-Man. I think I did have Spider-Man 1 for the PlayStation 2.
I had both of them. Don't get me wrong.
I never beat it. I think I always got stuck in the Shocker.
That's fair. It was either Shocker or I would get stuck on Scorpion.
Yeah, I could see that. Neither of which were particularly well-designed characters on that game. Nothing really was.
I don't necessarily agree with that statement. I kind of liked the take on them.
Well, to each
also
their own.
Because I really liked the idea, because I thought they looked really good. Also, Vulture is in that game.
You're right. I remember Vulture in that game very briefly.
And they crammed a lot into that video game. And they gave each of the little villains, at least some sort of a storyline.
Yeah, they did it. I will say that they did a really phenomenal job with that. On the topic of the Spider-Man games,
yes,
man, we talk about Spider-Man games a lot, don't we?
It's okay. I will talk about them all day and all night. Before we change topics.
Yeah, go.
What you call it? All the unlockables in that game are so incredible. Being able to play as Harry, finding the Green Goblin gear throughout the entire game is so much fun.
I never did any of the unlockables like that.
My goodness, Mark.
Like I said, I didn't get very far in the game.
You get to fly around on the glider and throw pumpkin bombs and everything.
That's rad.
You can spam the shit out of bad guys and just destroy bosses. You just fly up, hover over them, and just drop bomb after bomb.
That's fucking incredible, and I wish that I had known about that in my youth. The other Spider-Man game.
And also, before we change gears, one more thing about the unlockables. You can unlock the... the difference is when you find the gear, you're not going against the Green Goblin. You are going against the Hobgoblin.
No fucking way.
Yes. And it is... I want to try to find pictures of it since we're sitting here talking about it.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, dude. It seriously... but the other thing is that you can unlock in the game is the Alex Ross Spider-Man suit that they ditched for the movie. Alex Ross had a concept suit, and I always loved it because it was black and red. Well,
Holy
they
shit!
brought
It's
back.
Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's the Superior Spider-Man suit. That suit was pitched for being in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
Holy shit! They even, oh my god, in his sketchbook, he even drew something like this and said too much black.
Yeah, that was
Fuck.
and it was funny because that was the actual like comments. They're like, we can't use this; it's too much black.
Dude, this suit's fucking awesome. Why wouldn't they have used this?
I mean, it's Spider-Man's first big movie. I mean,
So
you got to put him in
just
a
change
classic.
the black to a blue.
That's the thing, though. I'm glad they didn't, because if they did the red and the blue, it would have looked too much like Superman.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm annoyed that there's no like screenshots of it.
Right? I'm on Google. I typed in Spider-Man PS2 Hobgoblin, and it's pulling up like Ultimate Spider-Man, fucking Amazing Spider-Man, which was are you sure it was in the Spider-Man 1 or was it in the Spider-Man 2 or 3?
No, it's in Spider-Man 1 because the Goblin had a black hood and had a different voice.
Interesting.
And it might have just been the regular Hobgoblin voice that they ended up just doing like a voice changing thing on it.
So did you ever play the other Spider-Man game from like the late 90s?
The one from PlayStation 1?
For PS1, and I think they also did it for the N64.
For N64? Which one? Are you talking Spider-Man, Enter Electro?
No. The one that was just Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I played the shit out of that game.
Dude, my favorite part of that game was just how many ridiculous fucking suits you could get. and like
it set the standard for Spider-Man games to have ridiculous unlockable suits.
Dude, it set the standard for superhero video games in general, I think.
Yeah.
Like the final boss was fucking symbiote Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Like
great.
As a child, I creamed in my shorts, okay? I had diarrhea when I was playing it, but that's beside the point. Like the number of suits you could play in was amazing. Like you had it was
amazing.
Like you had the Ben Reilly suit, you had the Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly suit, you had Captain Universe or whatever the fuck it was called. Like the number of suits they had for it was fucking incredible. Oh my god. They just don't make them like they used to, I guess.
No.
I will say that's one of the things I love going back is revisiting old video games, because like the shit that you played as a child tends to hold up just as well now. Like sure, the graphic quality is not as great. Like fucking Venom in that game looked silly as fuck looking at him now. But like the gameplay itself
so over
was
the
amazing.
top, but it's very much of that era, and I love it.
Exactly. And honestly, I would, I mean, motherfucker, we're gonna, when we get our YouTube channel started up and like when we're actually living within, not 4 states away, we're gonna play this game on our YouTube channel because
fuck yeah. I'd love to go through all the Spider-Man games.
No, you don't want to go through all of them, but I promise you there's some that are bad.
Oh, I know they're bad.
Hold on, I think it was the Return of the Sinister Six game for the Game Boy Advance, or the Game Boy rather, was so
I'm
bad.
I'm not talking about those.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the bad ones.
See, I'm even talking like, let's play Spider-Man Friends and Foes.
Oh god, that would be hard to do.
Yeah.
Friends or foes. God damn. Like, I mean, that the idea of this game had so much potential, and they fucked it up so bad.
Yeah.
Like when you have games like Marvel's Ultimate Alliance and the X-Men Legacy games, or Legends games, not Legacy, that perfectly did what this game tried to do. Yeah, and you fucked it up. Like that end of story. You fucked it up.
Yep. The other game that we got to do is the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes,
on a PlayStation 2. That game was so awesome.
Viewers and listeners, I guess right now as listeners, if you have any games that you'd love for us to do together, let us know, because we want to do this. We want to be gameplay guys as well as podcast guys. Oh my god. In fact,
The way you phrase that, it makes me hurt inside.
Why?
I don't know. I just hated it.
We're going to be Let's
We too
Players,
want to
guys.
be the Let's Players.
We're going to play it. Let's do it together.
It is so annoying to me that I cannot find any pictures
Are you sure
of
this
this
isn't just a
alternate
fucking
Green
fever
Goblin.
dream?
No, dude. I promise you, it's not. I bet I'll have to find a fucking video of it.
Also, I don't know if you heard this, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for some fucking crazy news?
Sure, I'll take some crazy news. Why not?
When you think of modern video games, what's the last like game series that you just like, or not game series, but like the last company that you would think would be making a new console right now?
Sega.
Fair. Okay. What other one comes to mind?
Google.
Google make
'Cause-
consoles?
Well, they tried the Google Stadia.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah, that's how successful it was.
All right. So we'll just skip the guessing game here. Atari is releasing a new console.
That was literally going to be my next guest.
Atari is so apparently during the PS5 launch party or whatever, Atari came out and was like, "Yep, we're launching a console." So it's basically, I mean, it's one of the like the PS Mini where it comes with multiple games on it, but it's coming out with 100 games built in. Like 100 of the classic Atari games.
So are they doing like one of those like special release thing, like the Nintendo 64 Mini?
I honestly can't tell. Like it looks like an Atari. Like it comes with the Atari like mini the Joy-Con thing or what joystick thing, but it also has like a regular fucking controller now.
Okay.
It's called the Atari VCS. I have no idea what the difference is, like what it's going to be like, and I'm honestly like I'm intrigued because most of those minis like they're like, you know, $100, $150, right?
Sure.
But this thing's coming out for pre-order for $389.99.
Jesus Christ.
With 3 different colors, like 3 different color options, which to me means like I don't know if they're going to be making this huge improvement or if they're just like like one last desperate cash grab.
I don't understand, you know, like why. I mean, maybe
like Atari hasn't
behind it. Maybe there's actually something like really cool going to come of it. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to look forward to this for a while. So, but we'll see where that goes. So, guys, one thing that we want to really just drive home is it's fucking voting season. Go out and vote. Like,
yeah, it's coming up. I mean,
sure
you know, a lot of places are finishing up their early voting.
Mm-hmm. So. I submitted my ballot last night. Like I did mine and mailed it out. Fun thing is like we know we talked about this way back. Like I'm talking like fucking months ago. About how Kanye West is running.
Did you see that he's on some of the ballots?
He was on my fucking ballot.
Holy shit. God damn it. There are just some people, like, please don't waste your vote. I don't want to, I hate saying like, oh, you know, if you like it's a vote wasted, blah. No, I don't normally like saying that, but for this, I will absolutely say it and I will scream it from whatever fucking rooftop you want me to.
Here's the thing is
a vote for Kanye is a vote thrown away.
Exactly. But here's the thing is there is for those with mail-in ballots, at the top of the ballot, it has a website that shows which of the candidates are still actually running. Kanye West is not still running. He has dropped out of the race. If you waste a vote on Kanye West, you are literally throwing your vote right down the shitter.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it don't vote for Kanye because, oh, it's fuck Kanye. I'm saying don't vote for Kanye because he's not running anymore.
Yeah.
Don't.
Also, even if you vote for him and he gets a shit ton of votes in your state, he's not running in enough states where he would get enough votes from the Electoral College to even make a difference.
Exactly.
So you're literally throwing away a vote for a lull. Good job. What do you think about bacon wrapped Oreos?
I saw that post that your wife shared and I commented on it. No, I didn't. I commented on something else, but I saw that post. I know what you're talking about.
I was going to say Key posted it and she commented on it.
Yeah, that was my bad. I commented on your wife's other posts, not one of your other wives' posts.
My other wives.
Yeah.
I moved to Utah with you.
Polygamy is not legal in here anymore. Hasn't been legal for a while.
Tell that to the show Sister Wives.
So my thought on bacon wrapped Oreos is, why the fuck not, man? Like, look, we deep fry Oreos. We fucking have 87,000 different kinds of Oreo flavors. Like, what's one more thing you do to Oreos, man?
I'm against it.
Oh, you can be against it. We don't have to agree on everything, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm against it.
Yeah.
I'm open to a lot of culinary interpretations and a lot of different things, but I'm not for it.
You know what? That's okay, Brandon. That's totally fine. You don't have to come to my next wedding where I'm going to have bacon wrapped Oreos. I understand.
Well, that's if you even invite me to this one.
Look, motherfucker, I didn't invite you to the last one because we were in a weird place because the last time we talked was me saying, hey, why don't you join my pyramid scheme?
And your dad lurking behind you licking his lips.
Fucking damn it. If for more information about that incident, guys, go check out our episode Pyramid Scheme Fuckery.
And I think I've mentioned it one other time before.
Yeah. The big chunk of the story was on pyramid fuckery, and we had our good friend Jeff on the show who
also talked about some pyramid fuckery.
We all talked about some pyramid fuckery that day. But guys,
hey, it's not often that two people get to talk about a story they share about one trying to get the other into a pyramid scheme and it not being in court.
And to be fair, the two remaining friends, after all is said and done with that event.
Yeah.
Well, guys, want to just say, I'm sorry, boys and girls. We don't have ladies and gentlemen. It's boys and girls. That's always been. That's just how we introduce everything. We'll figure it out later. Well, boys and girls, as we wrap up, I want you guys to remember, take after Little Debbie. Don't call them your friends with benefits. Call them your nutty buddies.
Wow.
Well, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, boys and girls, that about wraps things up for tonight.
If you just can't get enough of the Sleepy Boys, you can check us out on all of our social medias.
We are on the Facebook,
the Twitters,
Instagrams,
OnlyFans,
and coming soon, YouTube with the Sleepy Boys.
And if you want to see more of us as ourselves, you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at AKA Raxum, and on Twitch as Raxum Plays.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Condor_Brandor and at ATX Whiskey Bros and King Richard and the Gilded Veil on Instagram.
Until next time, boys and girls.
Have a great fucking day.
All right, man. Well, good session tonight. We'll talk soon. And yeah, we record again on Monday, right?
Yeah, I'm good for then.
Cool, man. We'll talk soon.
Hey, before you go, what book are you writing?
Oh, it's my autobiography.